Welcome to the second part of storytelling method. In the first part, we saw the importance of storytelling method, the objectives of the method, and also the characteristics. So, in the part 2, we'll be discussing about the elements, types of stories, and how to use the storytelling method in the classroom, etc. We'll start with the elements of storytelling. So it consists of plot, character, theme, dialogue, melody and decor. What is a plot? It is nothing but the most important part of the story. It defines what the story is all about. Character is the element which are living in the story. The theme, the third one is the theme. Theme is the word that can be defined in a few words. Coming to the next part that is called as dialogue, it is the way how the characters connect with each other. Next one is melody. Melody provides the familiarity with the audience about the story and what they are about to pursue. The last element of storytelling is the decor. It translates to the visual aesthetics of the theme. What are the different types of stories we can use in a classroom? One is true story, in which it can replete the true historical facts. Second one, it is the myths. These are false stories which deals with fairies and other supernatural entities. Then third type of story, it is called as legends. These were stories which contain some element of the truth of historical facts but fail in the matter of the accuracy of detail. So while telling a story as a teacher, we have to follow some of the guidelines. So here I want to say some of the guidelines in telling the story. First thing, the teacher has to give importance for the age of the student. So suitable stories must be selected according to the age of the students. Then the stories must be short and it must be very easy. They must know the story well. That is, the teacher must know the story well before the teacher narrates it. Then the language employed in the story must be very simple and easy. And one more important thing is the story should not be read. It should be told. It should be told to the students in a very lively way. Then the teacher himself should like the story and take interest in telling the story. So these are some of the guidelines the teacher has to follow. And adding to this, I'll add some more points. While selecting the stories, you have to consider the language difficulty, the content appropriateness, the cognitive load, then the instructional objectives, interactive opportunities, and extension opportunities also. While telling the story, the teacher has to prepare the environment, prepare the audience for listening, and then where you have to know where you are headed and how to evaluate the students continuously, and you have to adapt accordingly. Finally, when you are going to complete your story, or you can say that after completing your story, you make your shared experience real through extension and reflection activities, and you evaluate and reflect in order to improve. Finally, you just try again for the next story. Coming to the steps in the storytelling method, so these are some of the steps the teacher has to follow while using the storytelling in the classroom. The first one, the teacher has to put more efforts in the selection of the story that is appropriate to the content. Then the telling of the story, the teacher has to give more importance in the way of presentation. Then the teacher can use some of the aids for telling the story, and then the teacher can use the blackboard for telling the story, and also the teacher can use the textbook. And the next one is the role of the children. The children play an important role in success of the lesson. So if the history is presented in the form of the storytelling, then the teacher has to present some of the important facts in the history. The teacher has to provide many illustration, and then the teacher can proceed with. Then the role of the last one is the role of the teacher. Here, the teacher has to tell the story in an interesting manner with the appropriate gestures. And then the teacher has to lend an air of dramatization to the story. So when the teacher is presenting, she can present in the way of a drama. Then lend an artistic and realistic touch to the story. And one more thing we have to keep in mind is we should not skip any steps or any part of the story in between. So each new part should automatically emerge out of the previous part, and then we have to vividly present the content. The last one is when we have to use the storytelling in the classroom. So if we want to introduce a new topic, we can use this method of teaching. And if you want to attract the unmotivated learners, suppose that the learners are not motivated in the classroom situation, we can introduce the story to just to encourage them. Then we can illustrate a concept with the help of a storytelling. And also, in order to enhance a subject, we can go for the storytelling method. So with this, we'll finish the part 2 storytelling method. We'll meet in the part 3 video. Thank you.